This is Lacca Museum, situated in the village of Lacca, County Galway. The museum is situated in the house which was the home of the Carrick family. The Carricks were here from the early 1800s when they ran a school in that building. In the 1950s then, the cottage fell into dereliction. In 1994, the parish priest of Lacca decided to buy the derelict house, and with the help of local people and FÁS workers, they devised a scheme to rebuild the cottage and its surrounding area for the provision of Lacca Folk and Heritage Museum. Then we added a Knockdoe room to commemorate the Battle of Knockdoe, which was fought here in 1504, arguably some say the first battle in which gunpowder was used. And so, moving into the future, we're delighted to be able to announce that we're adding a modern touch to the museum with the introduction of a digital hub. And we're grateful to the Department of Rural and Community Development and Galway County Council for giving us the opportunity to provide this new facility for the people of Lacca.
Over the years, we've taken on a greater role in terms of providing facilities for our local community. We've provided preschool here currently at the moment. We've a men's shed and a local community centre that we co-funded with the parish council. Last year we carried out an area-based community plan to look at the needs of the parish, and one of those needs that came out of that plan was the need for a digital hub. We feel that we're ideally placed here in the village of Lacca to provide a digital hub. We're just 6.5 kilometres from the M17, M18 motorway. We're about 15 kilometres from Galway City, and each day there are over 18,000 cars passing by very close to us. So it's an ideal opportunity for one of those motorists to stop off here in Lacca. They can catch up with some work. The hub will also enable us to provide a greater range of facilities for our community. There are a number of elderly people in the parish with family in places like Boston and Melbourne, and we can help them indeed connect with those family members indeed through the digital hub. It'll also enable us to roll out a greater range of adult education courses, something that we used to do in the past and would really like to get back to doing again. So we feel the hub is a wonderful opportunity for us to make ourselves as an association far more sustainable, but also provide a greater range of facilities indeed for our local community here.
Tá muid in seo a gentar an Ileán agus muid fíor bródúil gur ránó muide mar bheith mar faointe chun leanmhain de ardlós a chuir fáil go cheantar litir Mileán. Bei sé cinnte mar bara ionintach go na dhéalagur freisin creidir muid a sin agus beidir gomach muid an daoine a bheile reis go dtíon ceantar. So lá tainne bhain testíonn an áiseo a ngachaid, testíonn leanmhain de ardlós. Agus cé go bhfuil muid in seo beidir rionsí ar gúilta, fós hain, tá muid a géar a bheith chomáile chalagan eile agus na seirbhísí ar fad a tá muid an a chuir fáil gan phobal. Bei gach chuid gan phobal an Teirbh a bhaintes, bei muid cuasaí ar fáil go beidir daoine an ísach a bheith géar fáil isteachar an idir lín más a géisteach leis an éifrina nó a siúpaidirach a lína ó bhéir sin. Bei fáil ag choláistí dar level agus ag scolaíir le chunaguid tógraí a dhéanamh. Tá sé an tábhachtach a gceantar ar gúilta a bheith go gcuine tú grín de éireacht, de chaltúr agus de hanga, agus tá rúnaine sin dhéanamh. Ach tá muid dóchasach gur féidir an rud sin níomhisteach le an réanú technoliacht agus an dárúd a bheith gobair a slábhi chéile.
Athenry Community Council own and manage a number of properties on behalf of the community. Among the properties we manage are classrooms used by Athenry Music School, these meeting rooms, 2 dressing rooms, tennis courts and playing fields at Raheen on the outskirts of the walled market town of Athenry in County Galway. As a community development organisation, we are excited to bring free broadband to our rural community. Having superfast broadband at the Raheen Community Centre and playing fields means we can provide Wi-Fi to remote and nomadic workers, students, visitors, community groups and the many sports clubs that use the pitches here at Raheen. With funding from the Galway Roscommon Education and Training Board, Athenry Community Council has facilitated IT workshops for businesses. We would like to offer digital literacy classes to a wider audience. Having high-speed broadband at the Raheen Community Centre will ensure that clients who provide IT classes to children and adults with dyspraxia or dyslexia can offer the most up-to-date online courses available with speed and efficiency well into the future.
Tá áthas ar chomhlacht forbar inis meán go raibhníú an forgnamh nua seo ionad pobal inis meán mar an chéad puinte ar nidláil a bheith nasca leis an gréasán náisiúnta leathanmhanda. Le luasta as ceann 100 megabyte in an second ba idirlín ar ard chaideán ar fáil sa forgnamh seo. Ba 5 desk an sin le haid daoine bheith ag déanamh chéan obair. Ba mutábalta rangana a chur fáil ar ard chaideán agus an pobal an nasca leis an damhna lig. Rud a bheits go hiontach nar bheits na chláistí gaeilge a réthagang sa saoire agus éon imeacht eile a bheits ar siúl sa bhargnamh seo fasta.
Rugh agus tógadh mis sin seo ar inis meán, agus is cinnte go mín ar na daoine óga an tileanna ága le postáil. Is deis iontach a bheits ateo go bhain sin Nilan. Tá béim olbhór ar an gcéan obair le bliain go le nuas buntaiste mór a bheits go an go phobal beag cos lein. Is cinnte go meála se seo daoine óga thíochta bhála agus daoine thíochta seo agus fille ar an mála agus bheith an obair an seo.
Clonberne is a rural village located in East Galway between Tuam, Bannistow and Glenmaddie. It's a parish that comprises of somewhere about 1,000 people. Our first project was to build a community centre which was built in 1987, opened in 1988. That was followed on by the Community Enterprise Centre here, which is the building we're in, which cost over $500,000 to build, and that is operated by the Development Committee, which is a voluntary committee. We're lucky in the sense that this parish has retained its numbers pretty well. When I look at maybe other rural parishes, the numbers at schools and all have dropped considerably from going back in the 80s and 90s, whereas we have retained our numbers, which is probably a lot to do with the developments we undertook over the years and keeping people active in community life. People were travelling long distances, commuting to Galway, Roscommon, Athlone, Castlebar to work, and we saw a need for developing a hub whereby it would give people the opportunity to work without having that long commute. And all of that we see as hugely beneficial in the sense that it's retaining people in the parish, retaining the structure and the fabric of a rural parish, all the businesses and all of that. So with the broadband connection point, I think the future looks very bright for the parish.
We applied for the BCP, we got the go-ahead. We developed a hub downstairs with 7 units. We have various meetings, online meetings, Zoom meetings are ran from there. We have the conference centre here, which without the BCP, we just hadn't the connectivity. We actually had to move to the national school to do the online bingo in the beginning, but once we got our BCP here, we were away with it. The other thing then is the public side of it, where people can come into. We have a fine big car park outside. One lad that's working for an international company needed to download big files, and he pulls up outside and he says it's perfect, it suits his needs. He doesn't have to be going to Galway or wherever. Another girl has moved from England during the pandemic. She got a job at a company in Dublin, but she doesn't want to be living or travelling to Dublin, so they've now allowed her to work from home, but she needs good broadband to do certain parts of her work, and she does that from here. It's unbelievable all the different aspects of the BCP that we would never have been thinking about. Having this connectivity, the BCP here, has allowed us to further develop the area and transform it into the future, and we don't know where the next step could be, but who knows? Technology keeps changing and we'll try and keep with it.